New Apple TV. Yeah, new Apple TV. Who should buy this? Well, we're gonna unbox it and let you know our thoughts and why we bought it. Coming up. All right, guys, so this is the new Apple TV 4K. Now, we bought this in the 64 gig version because I figured, hey, we might as well have one that's bigger or has more storage than the other one. We've always bought the lowest storage one, so like the 32 gig one. But we're gonna crack it open right now just to kind of see what's in it. I have a feeling it's gonna have standard Apple TV stuff, you know? So here we go, just in the back. Enjoy stunning 4K HDR picture quality and immersed Dolby Atmos. Couple little apps on there. AirPlay, pair for wireless surround sound. Now I'm very tempted. We have one HomePod and I know they're discontinued, but I've been very tempted to go out and buy a second one just so I can see how it sounds in stereo. And of course AirPods and stuff like that. So it does look like it has some cool features, and we'll probably do a more in-depth review of this down the road. But right now, I'm just kind of excited to get this hooked up. So let's crack it open here. You guys will be able to see. And here it is. So first off, we're gonna put the new Apple TV right there. There's the new remote, and that's what everybody's been excited about. What else do we get here? What else do we get? We get power cable. Yes, yep, power cable, pretty standard power cable. We get a little Apple TV stickers, it looks like. Yeah, little stickers and their manual. We get a lightning to USB-A cable for those of us that are, well, for all of us that need to charge this. It's still lightning. I don't know why they haven't gone to USB-C, but it is what it is. And I'm guessing that's it, because that kind of feels like it's in there pretty permanently. All right, pretty simple unboxing. And there you go, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Nope, not yet. So we're gonna move some of that over just to leave some of this out here. First off, let's first off, this is new Apple TV. This is old Apple TV. And you can tell new Apple TV, it's shinier, way less grungy, because it's new. But on the back, let's look, anything different? Let's peel this. There's a little sticker here. Let's peel that off. And there's a little one at the bottom here. So on the, it's really identical. Now the big difference, of course, is this is HDMI 2.1, so that's going to give us some additional high-speed features. And the big one for me is even little things like YouTube can do 4K 60. So supposedly the YouTube application actually updated, and you can get 4K 60. Now I did a video, I did a video yesterday. It won't be out for a little bit, but I recorded it in 4K 60 because it's a motorcycle ride, and I wanted to test a camera that was shooting in 4K 60. So I posted it in 4K 60, so those of you that have 4K 60 compatible devices could see it. This one can't play 4K 30, that's it, 4K 30. This one, and you can see here, there's a little screen grab, little video of the old Apple TV playing in 4K 30, even though it's a 4K 60 video. Now, here is this one, and I haven't had a chance to try it because, as you saw, we just took it out of the box. But I'm gonna put a clip up here right now, hopefully, that shows that this is pushing 4K 60 on a YouTube video, because that could be huge for a lot of people, you know, depending on channels that you're watching. If you're watching like a gaming channel, or you're watching a sports channel, or you're watching motorcycle rides and stuff like that, anybody that shoots 4K 60, and there's a lot that do that, that could be a huge reason for you to go to this one. Now the other thing, of course, is because this is HDMI 2.1 and it has those higher frame rates, you will see or start to see more like the Apple Arcade games coming out that will optimize and utilize that new 4K 60. It is a much faster. So it's like two, if not 3 generations, I can't remember how many, but 2 for sure generations faster processor inside this. So that should make it much quicker just for startup and just anything that needs to buffer or load or whatever. So that's kind of nice. Now the big one, of course, because you know they look the same, right? They look the same. The big one, of course, is the remote. So here's the old remote. You guys can see that. Here's the old remote, and the old remote is the remote that everybody loves so much. They don't. Nobody loves it. Everybody doesn't like this. Everybody dislikes, nobody loves. You know what I'm saying, right? It's just not good. I get what they were trying to do. They didn't do it well. So, old one, yes, new one. So let's take that out. And this actually it reminds me of the generation before this, just much thicker. So you will see now that you have a bunch of different controls on it. This now is like a jog wheel. So that's kind of sweet, the big difference, right? And you have your Siri over on the side. The other thing is you're supposedly able to even like power on your TV and stuff like that with this. So again, we'll take a look at that and see what we think and if that actually works after we have a chance to play with it and try it out. Let's talk about who I think should buy this and who shouldn't, right? Or maybe even why did we? So here's the simple reason why we did. Simple, we needed another Apple TV. And we were actually gonna buy one in, I wanna say like March, because we had a TV downstairs and a TV upstairs, and my wife and I wanted to start using the Apple Fitness software, and that really requires an Apple TV to be able to stream. Now our TV downstairs doesn't have any AirPlay or doesn't have anything like that on it, so we need an Apple TV box to get that Apple Fitness. So waiting till this one came out, seeing that it's the same price as the old one, why would you not want this one? It's newer, it's got more bells and whistles, it's better. Yes? Yeah. So if you're in the market for an Apple TV, this is a no-brainer, right? This is the one you get. Don't get the Apple TV HD. That makes no sense to me. I don't understand, because you can go out and buy a 4K TV now for like $7. They're dirt cheap, right? Not that you're gonna get a necessarily really good one, but you know, 4K is kind of the standard right now. So buying an HD box doesn't make sense to me, because they're only like $20 more to get the 4K version. So spend the $20. You're spending 180 or 200 bucks anyway. Spend the extra 20 and get one that's going to last you much longer. So if you need an Apple TV, get the 4K. 32, 64, it really depends on how many games or apps or anything like that you're gonna download it. But we went with the 64 gig because there were times, and I didn't think this would happen, but there were times, especially with the Apple Arcade games, which we have, that I would fill up the 32 gigs. So I figured, again, for that, whatever it is, 30 bucks or whatever, I'll just supersize myself, go right to the 4K 64. So that's what I got. But other than that, if you have an Apple TV 4K already, this one here, and this came out and you're like, oh, but it's shiny, do you need it? It all depends, really. If you got the money and you want the newest and greatest, yeah, sure, I get it, have at it. But you have to look at, does 4K 60 matter to you? If it doesn't, you've been watching all these videos for the last 2-3 years and you're like, it looks great. Well, then it'll still looking great on the old one. It still looks great on the old one. Is the new one gonna be a bit faster? Sure. Is it worth dropping another $200 for that? I don't know, it's really up to you. Second one then, and probably the biggest one, which was the reason that a lot of people were thinking that they wanted to upgrade to the new Apple TV, was this, right? This little fella right here. Because, like I said, this is not something that's on the public's favorite list. No, it's not on the favorite list, nor is it on my favorite list. So they were like, well, I want the new Apple TV to get this. Well, you can just buy this and it works. with this. And it's probably something that we're gonna do. Now, one of the things to be aware of, and we'll talk about these two, there's one primary difference, that this has some benefit. And that's with like games. This has an accelerometer in it, so you can use it for like games where you have to like tilt and drive and stuff like that. That has that. This doesn't. So if you want to use this to play games, you're gonna have to go buy a controller to go with it. Controllers are always better. We have a controller and we have this, and I never use this because I find it frustrating. But it is there, and if you have an Apple TV and you like using this for that accelerometer and to do all that kind of stuff, then this doesn't have it. It doesn't have it, right? So you'll be sad. But our hope is, because we don't use this for that, and we have game controllers for the Apple TV, is that we'll probably replace this and just buy one of these by itself. And they're like 60 bucks, 70 bucks, US, Canadian, whatever it is. And that, for one, bigger, easier to find in the dark, or when it goes into a seat cushion, which I like, and it feels very, very nice and solid and secure. Lightning, again, for charging, just like the old one, but very, very substantial. I find it has a nice feel, but that's always personal preference, right? So, now the other feature that they showed, and everyone was like, ooh, was the ability to use your iPhone to calibrate your television. Again, on the Apple TV 4K and the Apple TV HD, I believe, that feature is there. You don't need the new one, so you're good to go. Have at her. Bring out your phone. Now, the one thing, if you're running a TV that has Dolby Vision, it won't even enable. It says your TV's got optimum color and clarity, and it is what it is, so you can't even use the feature, so it doesn't matter. So if you have a Dolby Vision enabled TV, which we do, and that's why I know it doesn't work, then again, not a big deal. And secondly, as cool a feature as it sounds, I find, reading all the reviews online, that it is literally hit or miss. It's hit or miss. Some people are like, yeah, it made a difference. There's a positive change to it. But there's a lot of people that were like, no, I turned it on and went back to the way it was before because I like that better. That's one of the bonuses I find, and as much as having something look optimum, right, is good, we all have personal preference, and you may like an image to be more contrasty, or you may like an image to be a little more saturated, or you may like an image to be whatever. So, having a piece of software on the Apple TV tell you, it has to look like this. A lot of people are like, well, I don't want that. I don't want it to look like that. And I get it. It's like photography, right? If every one of us took a picture that looked the same as everybody else, it kind of takes that away. I shoot pictures a certain way. I edit photos a certain way. And that doesn't mean that it's the way that you would like that photo to be edited or to look. And that's fair. So I get it, but is it a feature? Well, yeah, it's a feature. Is it a feature that should make you want to go to a new one? I don't think so, because like I said, a lot of people are turning it on and then turning it right back off again. So, I think that's kind of it. Like I said, if you are in the need for a new Apple TV, get the new one, right? There's just no questions. Don't get the HD, get the 4K. 32 gig versus 64, it really depends on if you're a person that's going to be downloading a lot of apps and games. I would say for 80% of the people out there, 32 gigs would be fine. We went 64 because there's more and more games. We have an Apple Arcade account, so I like being able to try some of those. And some of them are starting to get a little bit more hefty, so I kind of like that. 4K 60. That's probably the biggest one for me. It's 4K 60. Now there's another feature that's in here that I haven't, well, of course I haven't had a chance to try anything, but that I want to try that I think is there. And it is the ability, especially with, say, things like HomePods. One of the biggest issues with like the HomePods and things like that is that you can only connect a HomePod to the Apple TV, right? The previous generation. That means anything coming through the HomePod anything coming through the Apple TV can use the HomePod as a speaker. But if you have an Xbox, you have a PlayStation, or you have something else, then those speakers just sit there and they're just like, no, because it's the Apple TV that is sending the audio out there. So now, if you have a feature on your television, and I'm trying to remember what it is. Anybody that remembers what it is, comment, leave it down there, comment down below. It allows you to plug everything into like your television and then have that one port come out to the Apple TV. And what happens then is the audio that comes in like from your Xbox, for instance, comes into the TV, then comes out into your Apple TV, and your Apple TV pushes out to your speakers, your HomePods, your AirPods, your whatever it is. Now those speakers become useful for not just the Apple TV, and that's a feature on this one, not on this one. So if you're a person that is like, oh, I have a HomePod or 2 HomePods, and I have an Xbox, and I have a whatever, PlayStation, and I have, then this new one could have a significant perk in that feature, and that's all through this HDMI and whatever it's called. You know what it's called. Someone down here put comments. Put a comment down below. You say what it is. We're gonna go play around with this today, and we may put up a follow-up just when we have a chance to have our thoughts on what we think of this and how it performs. All right, my friends, that's it. If you want to pick one up, head on over to Apple's website, because that's where you get them. You know, if there's links on Amazon or anything, I'll put them down there. If not, off you go, Apple. That's right. And that's all. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the little bell, and if you have any questions or comments, or if you have one of the new ones, leave your thoughts down below, and we'll continue the discussion. All right, guys, I'm out. I gotta go plug this in and give it some playtime. Later.